Okay, so mine is called Who Says Fractions Are Scary, because I based it on, they're all games, so that I can make fractions fun. And then I designed it for 5th grade. And so my first, I also did the standards for all of the games. So my standards would be 2.0 is a standard. Students perform calculations and solve problems involving addition, subtraction, and simple multiplication and division of fractions and decimals. And then 2.4 is understand the concept of multiplication and division of fractions. And 2.5 would be to perform simple multiplication, division of fractions, and procedures to solving problems. And then the Common Core standards, I did add and subtract fractions with like denominators and unlike denominators. And 2 would be solve word problems involving addition, subtraction of fractions referring to the same whole or different. And then, so my first activity is take that spoon, and I based it off of the card game spoons. So you have a group of students, but one less than the number of students of spoons. And then the object, they have cards, and the object is get 4 of a kind. So I did this one based on percents, decimals, and fractions of the equivalent. So like if you have 1/2, you have to get 1/2, 0.5, and 50% to get the goal. And then for my second activity, it's called Fraction Frenzy. And this one is like you have a board and then you have dice. So the student will roll the dice and then they'll add the 2 numbers together and they'll use that one as their denominator. And then they'll roll it again and then they'll have, like if they have 6 and 4, they'll have like 6 over, I don't know, like the denominator would be 10 and then the other one would be 4 over 10. And they'd have to add those together, and if they get the answer right, then they move over 1 space, and if they get it wrong, they move back. So that one would be adding and subtracting fractions. And then the third one is called Stick the Fraction, which is this one. And I'll hold up like cards like this, or the ones with I'll hold up a fraction, an unsimplified fraction, and what they'll have to do is they'll be in teams, and they'll have to race and put a sticker on the simplified version of the fraction that I showed them on this board. And then the other one I have is called Fraction Bingo. So this one we do multiplication, so I'll hold them up a multiplication problem, and they'll find the simplified version of that multiplication problem on their bingo card, and they'll get 5 in a row to get bingo. And then the last game I have is called LCD War. So it's basically a card game of war, but they flip the 2 cards simultaneously and then they find the LCD of those 2 numbers together. So it's working on the lowest common multiple denominator. And then my objectives are they will be able to identify the equivalents of fractions, decimals, and percents, addition and subtraction of fractions, and multiplying and dividing fractions as well.